Hey everybody, welcome to Ad Age's Creativity Top 5 Live, our favorite part of the week where we count down the best brand ideas of the week and other campaigns that caught our attention. I'm Anne-Christine Diaz, Creativity Editor, coming to you from Los Angeles. And I'm here with...
I'm Alexandra Jardine, Associate Creativity Editor, coming to you from London.
And I'm Ishan Sherwood, Associate Creativity Editor, coming to you from New York.
And I'm Jessica Wall, Senior Reporter, coming to you from Chicago. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. So before we get started, make sure to tell us who you are and where you're watching from, because we would love to give you a shout out. Also, if you're watching on social, make sure to share, subscribe, and like this post. So to kick things off, we have something from Diet Coke. Alex, you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, at number 5 this week, we have Diet Coke giving its classic "Just for the Taste of It" jingle a bit of a makeover in a new ad from Droga 5 London, and the jingle is courtesy of Thundercat. Let's have a look at it. So that was directed by Autumn de Wilde, who's known for her sort of fashion and beauty stuff, but also the film Emma recently with Anya Taylor-Joy, which I still haven't seen, but is meant to be very good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, but I need to. That's on my list.
Film.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I mean, it's fun.
Well, fun is what this spot is. It really stood out to me because I just love the track. I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised by this new take on the jingle, and it went so well with the visuals too. It was so chill. I felt laid back but celebratory. Like, it made me feel ready for summer. I just loved it. What do you guys think?
I thought it was interesting. Oh, good.
No, I mean, the song stayed in my head. Like, that version stayed in my head after I saw it for the first time. Which is interesting considering how iconic the old version was, that it already replaced it in my mind. Like the do, 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 do. I don't know. It was very catchy.
Yeah.
And the visuals are really well done.
Yeah. I can imagine driving, in a convertible along PCH listening to this song. You know, that's what it made me feel. I loved it.
But maybe not taking off your bra.
Oh yeah, that was actually, I love that scene.
Yeah, I really like that scene too.
Well,
That
all
was
the
my
little
favorite
nods to
moment of the spot.
the comfort, right? Like, you know, walking through a bodega in your pajamas, which is happening a lot these days. You know, it's very of the moment. I thought it was interesting that, like, so the original jingle, at least to me, feels very 80s. You know, you're like, oh yeah, and that's the 80s. It's got an 80s vibe. And this has like an even older vibe, right? Like a sort of
it's like a 70s
retro, lounge vibe. Not, I don't even know what like a 2020s vibe actually would be right now.
Sadness, 2020,
right,
sadness.
But I mean, maybe it's nostalgia, right? Because no one wants to live here right now. So yeah, let's reference the 70s.
Yeah, but it felt modern at the same time. But I guess retro is very current.
Retro's modern, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and part of it's the imagery, right? Like, this is just the casting in this is not something you ever would have seen in like an original Diet Coke ad.
Oh yeah, way more diverse than a Diet Coke ad from back in the day would be. But anyway, nice work from Droga 5 London. And we have some shout outs. We have Valerie from Illinois, Ethel from South Africa, Santiago from Colombia, Ramat from Indonesia, Shams from Bangladesh, Bharat from India, Tania from Pakistan, and Francisco from Mexico. Thanks for joining us, everybody. So do you guys know what today is? Outside of Friday?
I know it's like National Biscuit Day tomorrow or something, but I don't know what
National Pizza Day. But I feel like every Friday is National Pizza Day. I think today is actually National Pizza Day.
Today is actually the opening day for Zack Snyder's new zombie flick, Army of the Dead. I don't know if you guys are or zombie fans, but we all know Zack Snyder as the director of 300 and Man of Steel. But when he first broke out into film, he did a remake of Dawn of the Dead. And that was like how he just broke out into features. Before that, he had been a commercial director. But now he is debuting yet another zombie movie on Netflix today. So I'm super excited about that. That's what I'm going to be watching. But there's an interesting partnership that Netflix had with Liquid Death. So we all remember Liquid Death as the morbidly heavy metal branded canned water brand. We've seen campaigns like the Cutie Polluties stuffed animals that showed stuffed animals that had been devastated by pollution. Environmental pollution. And then there was also the killer baby namer that allowed you to give heavy metal names to your unborn kid. But now Liquid Death has partnered with Netflix to promote Army of the Dead with an interesting piece of headgear, which is designed to protect you from getting devoured by zombies. And a campaign from Partyland, which is an LA and Colorado-based agency, came up with the idea and also this infomercial to promote it. So let's take a look at a bit of that.
The following is brought to you by an anti-zombie wearable technology from Liquid Death.
Have you heard the news? A zombie outbreak has completely overrun Las Vegas. It's just a matter of time until the Army of the Dead find their way to you and your family in search of delicious warm brains. If only there was a way to make you and your loved ones virtually invisible to nearby lurking zombies. Well, now there is. Introducing the Liquid Death No-Brainer. Ingenious wearable tech featuring breakthrough cold temperature science that hides your warm brains from zombies' natural thermal vision. Lightweight, comfortable, important. The No-Brainer gives you peace of mind that zombies won't eat pieces of your mind.
Cool it, zombies.
Protect your head from the undead with the Liquid Death No-Brainer.
So we got Sam.
Santa.
Yeah.
This is not.
This will totally
Something has gone wrong.
Protect you from zombies because you're gonna be like trying to balance it and the zombie will have gotten your neck to your neck all the way. These cans are super heavy. These are big cans, and it's pretty impossible to balance. So this is no way. This is not gonna.
Maybe you need bigger head.
I look like Mickey Mouse.
like a mutated Mickey Mouse from The Simpsons.
But there's not there. You guys need you need tubes to be able to drink the water.
Yeah, well, the idea is to.
I know that's not the point, but if it's going to be functional,
the point is to protect your brain.
Well,
this comes as part of the kit.
Oh yeah, it came in an interesting as seen on TV kit. Whoa, it's like one of these boxes.
Don't drop your brain.
Yeah, I can't.
I think maybe this is meant to go like that.
I feel like as seen on TV packaging is one of those things where like if it's your job to make it, you hate your life. But if you just get to make it sometimes,
it's super fun. And so there's a 30-minute infomercial. That was just a minute of it. So they actually demonstrate it with real zombies. And you guys gotta tune in and watch the whole thing. It's worth the watch. It's 30 minutes long, but if you like zombie action and like to see people getting mauled,
it's definitely worth carrying on with watching it. Actually, I had a email earlier from Matt Heath, the co-founder at Partyland, and he said that one really fun piece of data they're getting is that 7% of all the viewers are watching the entire thing.
Yeah, I saw a post on it and people were saying, oh, that was so worth the watch. Even though the action pretty much stops right in the middle of it, because half of it's dedicated to just watching a guy get mauled by a zombie. One minor complaint, I didn't see any blood or guts. There's a lot of great sound effects. You could hear the chomping in the background, but I don't know. Maybe it was low budget. Oh, there he is. Poor guy. But yeah, Matt Heath, he's the founder of Partyland. He's a creative who's done some great things out of 72 and Sunny, TBWA, Crispin, also Fallon. We Got the Meats. I think Jessica, he worked on that campaign. And the company itself was founded by a former agency creative, Mike Cesario. So you could see people like totally going all in with this crazy Liquid Death branding. But yeah, I think actually before getting killed by a zombie, I think I might break my neck wearing this thing.
Yeah.
So, it does look heavy.
It's really heavy.
I mean,
but anyway, so they're huge. They're like
they look like
24-ounce cans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of water.
They're big.
So that infomercial, you can actually buy this for about $30, and I think if you buy 2 cases, you get this for free.
Now that we told you how comfortable it is, you should go pick it up.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, another fun campaign from Liquid Death. I don't know where they're going to go next with the ideas. So we move from water to personal care. Ishan, you want to tell us about the next one as we try to take our headgear off?
Well, so it feels like every week we are talking about a new campaign that is breaking new ground when talking about personal care and body parts and bodily functions. And here is a campaign from Gray, New York that wants you to wrap your mouth around the word pubic, say it in public all the time, and just get used to it. And there's a fun animated little video. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm a pubic hair. Yeah, I'm just a pube, and it's not fair. All I ever wished to be was just another hair. But when they got one look at me, the ruling from society was ew, not you. Oh, what's a curl to do? It seems like all the ads are showing perfect skin and shiny hair. But But what about this other world inside your underwear? It's okay to say I need. You really can see pubic. No need to be ashamed. It's even kind of therapeutic. Why the mass hysteria about the pubic area? There's nothing diabolical about this little follicle. So take care of your pubic hair. If you trim or you shave or you're bare down there, whichever way's your way, it's all okay. Yes, it's okay.
So that is obviously for Gillette's Venus line of razors. There's also a lot of leaning into like the diversity angle, right? Like all different colors of hair, you know, if you've got a little bit or none or a lot or whatever you want to do. I will say one thing I noticed, not everyone's pubes are curly. So I don't know, maybe some people are going to feel left out by this.
Yeah, not as diverse as we thought, huh?
Okay, so what did you all think of the latest in this trend?
Well, points for going here, for trying to break yet another taboo, but really? I mean, it's like the flight of the pubic hair. Oh, pubic hair. She feels so left out because
I was getting definite like Frozen Let It Go vibes from that song.
Oh yeah, the music is awesome. It's Broadway worthy, right? But the premise is a little it's stretching it a little bit, saying like a pube deserves love. I don't know about you, but if I see a pube in a weird place, I'm gonna get grossed out.
Maybe it's expanding the number of places where it's not weird to see it anymore.
I'm going to give them points for the song lyrics and the tune, but the lyrics, I mean, the number of words that they found to rhyme, therapeutic. I mean, I was impressed with that. I will give them points for that. I will also give points to Gillette because we've seen a lot of personal care ads that go there from much smaller brands, from brands that maybe can take more risks. And to me, it's interesting to see Gillette going there.
Yeah.
That this comes from a Procter & Gamble brand versus something that comes from that EOS one we saw a few weeks ago, right? That's a smaller brand that plays to a certain market. That made a little bit more sense maybe from a branding perspective than Gillette going there as well. So
from the challenger brand perspective. And it's interesting in that EOS campaign, which was, celebrated a TikTok creator who was saying, bless your effing cooch. And they made a line specifically for her with those very words. But that was just a little giveaway with this new line from Gillette. The products actually say on the packaging for your pubic area. The packaging says pubic. So I feel like that's a big move.
Yeah, it's like one of those taboo things, isn't it? Like the ad that we saw that was about saying the word moist. It's about talking about something that we don't like to talk about.
Yeah, I feel like pubic is a little more daring than moist, though.
Well, maybe. I suppose my slight issue with these ads, and we saw another one, I wrote about another campaign last week for Veet, which is another hair removal brand, which was saying it's okay to be hairy and you can really like your pubic hair, but also it's good to remove it. And I feel like this is the same. It's like they're going with the whole kind of body positivity thing and saying, isn't hair great? But they're also promoting their product to remove your hair. So there's something a little bit...
It's an interesting strategy because Billy Razors did the same thing as well with that campaign featuring women with hair in all different places. Yet it was a razor brand. So what's the thinking behind that? It is positivity, but also I think you're also promoting a brand to take your hair away. So
yeah, the whole brand is about taking your hair away. So if they're then saying, oh, it's great to have hair, the two things don't really go together. But I suppose they're trying to be all things to all people.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of ambivalence in that sort of market because you had for a long time this trend toward basically less or no pubic hair, and then you also like sort of men got into it, ads from Manscaped and things like that. But it is tough to sort of embrace the like however you want to do it. is totally fine, but also please buy our product, which really only has one particular purpose.
Yeah.
And also, there's the plight of the pubic hair, which we're talking about right now. But I don't know if you remember, a few years back, there was the plight of the endangered pubic louse. Scientists were saying that crabs, right, pubic lice were in danger of going completely extinct because there just wasn't any pubic hair anymore. There was nowhere for them to live. Deforestation. It's tragic.
Deep thoughts from Easton Sherwood, everybody. This is what you tune in for.
I feel like that should be Gillette's next ad. We should go there.
I mean, let's see what words are going to get unearthed.
Save the pubic crab. So before we move on, we have more shout outs. Alex, you want to tell us who's watching?
Yeah, we have Lorna from Singapore, Majid from Morocco, Kevin from California, Ish from California, Sumana from India, Shlomi from Thailand, Carol from North Carolina, and Juan from Chile. Hi,
hey guys, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for watching.
And now we're going to dip back into the chicken sandwich wars. That's your specialty, Jessica. So tell us about it.
This is another week where there's more news about fried chicken sandwiches because this is America. Carl's Jr. and Hardee's are out with their new chicken sandwiches. They decided to take a bit of a different strategy when it comes to marketing. Let's take a look at a clip from an ad from 72 and Sunny.
I gotta get saucy on you. 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 I gotta get saucy. I gotta get saucy on you. I gotta get saucy. I gotta get saucy on you. I gotta get saucy on you. I gotta get saucy on you.
So we talk a lot about food porn, but this is the most literal translation of food porn I've seen. These ads are running on OnlyFans. So yeah, there's a new way to sell chicken sandwiches. Who knew?
Yeah. I know if you look at some of the other videos, they're maybe even more suggestive. There's one featuring a hand stroking what looks like a giant pickle. I don't know, Max, if you could scroll down, there might be a clip or right there. There it is. And what's interesting about this to me, it feels like it's paying homage to Carl's history. Because remember, back in the day, it was known for its bikini babes and these super suggestive ads featuring, people like Jessica Simpson and Charlotte McKinney. And then I think Carl's got a lot of attention or flack for that. And then it changed its strategy. But now this kind of harkens back to that in a fun way. And they're really going all in with the porn thing because OnlyFans, as some of you may know, is the social media platform of choice for porn stars because it enables them to monetize their content more easily. So, yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting strategy for the chicken wars to me.
It is. And I will say one thing about the actual product. They're doing other things besides just what's become the standard chicken sandwich with the pickle and the mayo. They're doing a waffle version and a biscuit version. So props to them for thinking outside the bun a little bit.
The bun. What kind of bun, Jessica?
I think this makes it quite clear that there was a definite subset of Carl's Jr. Customers who liked the old ads, and maybe couldn't necessarily be that vocal about it. And here now they sort of get a little bit of fan service. And didn't you run into an issue where so the ads are running on OnlyFans?
Oh yeah,
usually a subscription model, but this particular account you don't have to pay to see.
No, you don't have to pay to see, but if you want to see them on OnlyFans and not on adage.com/creativity, you have to input your credit card. So it's
Just in
definitely
case, just in
targeting
case.
that audience. Yeah, who's already there. And it's all kind of a win for OnlyFans too, because they can probably draw more of an audience. I actually got to taste some of the sandwiches, and the waffle one, thumbs up, pretty good. I didn't.
And I think that's a really good point about like this being good for OnlyFans. Like I think it was a few years ago, Pornhub finally got like a non-porn advertiser on the site. I think it was Diesel Jeans. But since then they've had others, MeUndies and things like that. And this OnlyFans is not only for porn, but like it's only for porn, So I do wonder if we are going to see a new influx of advertisers who eventually like aren't even necessarily doing tongue-in-cheek ha 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 porn stuff. They're just like, here's where the audience is, let's just advertise.
We'll have to put our credit cards in and investigate. Speaking of Pornhub this week came out with its own campaign, and now Pornhub too is diving into the AI trend, and it's actually digging back into the archives, the annals of erotica, and it found some ancient, lusty videos, but it's using its own technology or an AI technology to modernize those videos or recolorize them, so you get all that, vintage porn in the best detail possible. The point of the AI was, I guess, Pornhub trained the technology to. It trained the technology via its own content. It input data from its own library so that the AI could then use that to make vintage porn look as great and crisp as possible, which is, I don't know, it's a lot of work because, we'll check out some of the videos. Let's look at the trailer for it.
From the moment we figured out how to make images come to life through film, we've been making porn. Yes, even before the invention of the bra and the zipper, people were getting undressed on camera. These timeless masterpieces deserve to be enjoyed in all their glory. That's why we're going to restore porn from our past using the technology of the future. Pornhub presents Remastered, an innovative project using artificial intelligence to bring century-old erotic films to life in 4K Technicolor for today's adult aficionado. AI is great at coloring and restoring even the oldest footage. But when it comes to things like the subtle shades of penises, nipples, and all that turn-of-the-century bush, it's a whole other story. So we decided to take a new approach, using deep learning to teach our AI some dirty tricks by watching porn. Lots of porn. And guess what? The more it watched, the better it got. So once our AI was through with its sexual education, it was ready for its final exam, the first striptease ever recorded, from way back in 1886. Then we smoothed out and scaled up these titillating treasures for the modern eye. And the annals of history. Discover our full collection of old-time erotica at the Remastered Film Library. And who knows, we might just get you wanking like it's 1899.
So that is from Madrid Agency Officer and Gentleman, which has been responsible for a great deal of Pornhub's really interesting advertising over the years. They did the Wank Band. You can look it up. So they've done like other technology-based projects before. But guys, like, what have we learned? Nothing about like feeding information into AIs. You're just hastening the day when like we're all murdered by sex robots, and like that's not how I want to go.
But Anne and Alex will be protected. Their brains will be protected from those robots.
A good point.
Oh yeah,
that's a really good point.
But how necessary was this? Like, do we really need to like? Because how much detail did those films have originally?
Maybe they were like inspired, but there's been a lot of like footage from the First World War and the Second World War that's been remastered and given color to like bring it to life for people. I think they're probably inspired by that. So I can kind of see where the idea would have come from.
I mean, and this is also this is like an ad specifically for like, hey, go watch our vintage porn collection, right?
Yeah. Also, I think it's promoting just the variety of content that Pornhub has. It was able to accumulate all this information because it has such a vast library. I don't know. I'm going to have to, another one to investigate, right?
Hello to all the children watching. Hi.
Yeah.
I hope you tune in this week.
But that's interesting. We have two campaigns that referenced pubic hair. The line of the week is turn of the century bush.
And not George W. Okay.
Okay. So speaking of technology, EA Sports came up with something interesting. Alex, you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, this is another one using AI, although not in a porny way, I hasten to add. It's actually more of a serious subject. EA Sports is turning a teenager who was killed in a knife attack into a playable character in FIFA 21. This was Kyan Prince, who was an aspiring soccer player who was killed when he was 15 years old in 2007. He was actually signed with the London soccer club Queen's Park Rangers. So EA Sports have brought him back as a player for QPR in the game with the help of Engine Creative and Framestore to make him look as he would look today. Should we have a look at it?
My name is Kyan Prince, and I am a professional footballer. Or at least I would have been, had I not been killed when I was 15. There's two stories I want to tell you about my son, Kyan. The first one is about how he lost his life to a young person carrying a knife. But I want to tell you the other story, the more powerful one, about the man he was destined to become.
Everyone used to talk about Kyan, how much of a wonderful talent he was, and he was always destined to play at the top.
Were he alive today, Kyan's hard work, positivity, and his talent would have seen him become one of the stars of the game. What a goal by Kyan Prince! Now I understand not everyone's got what it takes to become a pro baller, but everyone's got something that they're good at. So stand tall, stand strong, and let that be your story. Your only story. See the man Kyan was destined to become.
Kyan Prince! How about that?
Find him in FIFA as the face of JD, in match attacks, and on the team sheet at QPR.
So that is actually designed, it's been done for the Kyan Prince Foundation, which is a charity to highlight knife crime. It's an interesting one. We were saying we've seen some similar things before, haven't we? There was a campaign from Change the Ref, which used deepfake to resurrect one of the victims from the Parkland shooting. There was also a campaign from Travelers Insurance that tried to look at how people killed by distracted drivers would have turned out had they lived. So it is something that's been done before, but I suppose putting it into a game is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wonder, these ideas are brilliant, but they also make me sad. It's like the Travelers Unfinished Stories campaign looks at the potential, the lost potential. And same with this, this aspiring football player, what would he have been? So it's kind of sad. I wonder how that impacts the brand in the end. Do people wanting to play video games want to be dealing with such sadness? Is that an empowering idea? I don't know. I mean, it's interesting to think about. But this trend of reviving or resurrecting people, I wonder if it'll keep going. I feel like we're seeing it a lot lately.
I mean, like they've done it in this particular instance, but I think we're seeing like there's nothing to stop these companies from bringing back, players who've retired. Kobe, like you could have literally anybody in a game, and they wouldn't even necessarily have had to play the game. So I mean, that's certainly maybe a direction that sports games are gonna go.
Yeah, I guess we've seen it. Like, remember when there was the Tupac thing, and he was
the hologram.
Yeah, the hologram.
Yeah. Well, and in sports video games, you can play as players who are retired or who were, have passed away.
Yeah.
MLB The Show, for example. But this is interesting in that it's somebody who wasn't famous and maybe could have been. So,
yeah, that's the different point. Or a different
and they're getting brands to sponsor him as well. They're having brands like JD Sports and Adidas, I think, are sponsoring him.
Huh. Well, interesting move from EA Sports. So let's move on to something fun now, because that was a little sad. Jessica, what is the latest in brand merch? I think you spotted something or you wrote about something really.
Yeah, so there's merch. This is actually somewhat sports related. Some of you may know that the new version of Space Jam is coming out in July. And Kraft Macaroni and Cheese actually made basketball-shaped macaroni and cheese, I think, for the first Space Jam. But now they're upping it a notch, and they came out with basketball and bunny-shaped macaroni and cheese. But the more exciting thing for merch fans is Space Jammies. That's really all I need to say. Space Jammies. They are. It's a onesie. It's blue. It's got some of the characters from the new Space Jam movie on them, and people can go online and register to get these for free. They're giving away 500.
Oh, for free? When?
Yeah. Now they're giving them away now. You have to enter your information, so they'll be able to keep in touch with you. Kraft Macaroni and Cheese, but really, who doesn't want Space Jammies? Because the idea of watching the movie, right? The movie in theory would have come out and would have just been a theatrical release, but because of the pandemic, it's coming out the same day on HBO Max. So you can watch it at home, in the comfort of your own home, in the comfort of your Space Jammies, while having a bowl of Space Jam mac and cheese.
Perfect.
Oh, that's Friday night at the Diaz.
2021. It's free, but do you have to put in your credit card?
I don't think so. I think you just have to enter your address and your email and all your other personal information. They're not going to make you an AI person in the movie or anything like that. I don't think.
Well,
but this is also just a whole idea. The Space Jam movie has so many brands working with it. There's reportedly 200 brands are tied into this movie in some way. Wow. General Mills has a cereal. Tommy Hilfiger is making jeans, I think. Obviously, Nike has. There's going to be a lot over the next 9 weeks. We are going to see a lot of brands come out with Space Jam merch. So
we should have a dedicated Space Jam section.
Space Jam.
One thing about the pajamas or the jammies, I feel like the movie itself got the short end of the stick with that, because all I see are like noodles.
No. If you zoom in, there's characters on the pockets, and then there's the logo. That blue shaded thing says Space Jam.
Okay.
But the merch is from Kraft, so,
Yeah.
It is Bugs Bunny-shaped macaroni and cheese.
But when they make those noodles that are supposed to look like something, they never look like what they're supposed to look like, right?
Not really. But that's okay.
Okay. So, snacks. Do you have any snacks this week? Speaking of food, do you have any snacks, Jessica?
I do. So Thanksgiving is still 6 months away. I'm just going to preface with that. But there are people out there who apparently really miss their green bean casserole that they have maybe just on Thanksgiving and not the rest of the year. So those casseroles people make with like the French onions? This is the bizarre snack of the week is green bean casserole snack mix. It has green bean chips and fried onions and mushroom chips.
Wait, fried onions? Like the fried
onions that you would put on top of a green bean casserole. You can.
So you're supposed to eat that with your hand?
Yeah.
Are you going to try them for us?
I mean, I kind of have to.
Yeah.
All right, let me see.
Taste test?
That looks like an enormous packet.
Actually,
it is a very big bag.
Why don't you taste test that? And I've actually been dying to taste test Liquid Death because we write about it all the time. But
So this is like the alternative to, maybe if you're vegetarian and you keep hearing about all these fried chicken sandwiches and you want a snack of your own, you can have these green beans.
Dehydrated green beans.
They look like those veggie snacks. Oh no!
Wow, that's intense.
Oh, it looks like do you know Bombay mix? Do you have that in the States?
Mm-mm.
It's like a Indian kind of like dried bits that you have in a bowl. It looks like that.
So these are actually, more like the pieces that you would buy.
Did you eat the mushroom?
The mushroom's good.
Is it like a dried shiitake?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
it
weird.
just says mushrooms. It doesn't say what.
I wouldn't
what
eat that
variety.
like that.
That's intense.
I would
feel
put
like
that in
though,
what?
French's
it's a
fried
snack
onions
mix.
already exist. You could just open a package of that and just eat them by the handful.
Right, but then you wouldn't have these like the
These
green
dehydrated
beans.
green beans.
These dehydrated green beans that you can eat.
I like those little pea crisp things, but this is just straight up a dehydrated.
Just leave your vegetables out in the sun.
It would be good like trail mix or something for hiking, maybe.
I think they're pretty tasty. I think they're pretty tasty, and it doesn't taste like green bean casserole, but tastes good. So, anyway, thanks.
All right.
Anyway, thanks for the
snack
snacks.
break.
We're
I was
gonna
getting
throw
hungry.
up a QR code if you want to check out the work that we've been talking about. But yeah, so our final item of the week, Ishan.
All right, so mini drum roll at number 1. So it's almost June, which means it is almost Pride Month, which means the campaigns are coming. But this one from Lego is great. Everyone is Awesome is what it's called, after the amazing, catchy song from the Lego movie. Let's take a look at a little video.
This set is called Everyone is Awesome, and it's a very special set to us at the LEGO Group because it's the first time we're launching a product that really celebrates diversity in our fan base and the LGBTQIA+ community. We've included the whole spectrum of the rainbow colours from the LGBTQ+ flag, and we've also introduced all the minifigures in monochrome, different colours of the rainbow, and we've purposely designed this set to be very sort of simple and eye-catching and something that people will hopefully be very proud to display in their homes. Kids are so much more accepting of each other and everybody else's differences, and I think that's one of the things that I think we can all learn from kids is just go out there, have fun, be open to everybody, and the world would be a much more happier, inclusive and loving place.
So there's a longer video that explains it all, but you can see there. So they have the colors of the LGBTQ flag. They've also got blue, pink, and white for the trans flag, and then brown and black to represent the diversity within the community itself. For Lego fans, though, like this is a set. Like you get lots of multicolored blocks.
I thought just immediately so awesome. You look at it, you know exactly what it's saying, and the story behind it too was so moving. First I worried, oh, is this kind of a gratuitous move from Lego? But if you hear the story from the guy who designed it, that was the VP of design, Matthew Ashton. He is LGBTQ, and he actually created the set for his own personal decor in his office. And when the company set out to create something for Pride, it's like, oh wait, I have something right here. And then so they moved that into production. And then also, if you go onto the website, you'll hear his personal story about growing up as an LGBTQ kid. And it's just super moving. And it's just beautiful too. Simple, but beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine a lot of people wanting to have this in their home. And it's another example as well of Lego appealing not just to kids, but to adults. I can imagine a lot of adults wanting to buy this and have it in their house because it's so kind of symbolic. It could almost become like a sort of iconic thing to have in your home.
Yeah.
I wonder how many kids will play with this versus how many adults will buy this to put it on display somewhere in their home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's a tension actually that Lego probably is very happy with, because there are a lot of adults who buy, like, you buy the Death Star and like, what do you do with it when you're an adult? You like build the Death Star and then you like put it on a shelf and display it. You don't let your kid
and I mean
take it
they
apart.
have sets for adults anyway. They have sets that are designed for over 18s.
But I also like that the faces don't have the, drawn on eyes and stuff. Like you can create the character to be whatever you want it to be if you're someone playing with the set versus somebody displaying the set. So
so specifically the figurines themselves are gender neutral, except for the purple one, which is supposed to be a drag queen, given the hairstyle. But other than that, is there anything you want to movie?
Yeah, but I do like what you pointed out about the tension between playing and displaying, which was the whole point of the Lego movie. And which is, what happens in my house. We build something and then it's immediately turned into something else, like a chicken, by my son. But anyway, a marvelous piece from Lego and another week of so much great work to talk about. Thank you all for joining us. We are going to take a break next week ahead of the holiday, so you can spend that time checking out more of the best in brand ideas at adage.com/creativity, or you could head over to OnlyFans or Pornhub, however you want to spend your time. And a big thanks to our production dream team, Alfred Mascaroni, Max Sternlicht, Anna Sekula, and Arabella Breck on social. So we're going to say goodbye for now, but have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.